Hey, welcome back everyone. Happy Saturday to everybody around the world. I think a lot of fans right now are really getting ready for the Ahsoka series for multiple reasons, and we've brought this up many times because Dave Filoni is and has been writing every single episode. It's all complete for the most part. They're just finishing up post-production right now. And Kathleen Kennedy really had little to no involvement with the Ahsoka Tano series. In fact, zero involvement with Ahsoka. That really does kind of ramp up the anticipation for this show. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, let's get right into what's going on here with the whole entire situation between Kathleen Kennedy and her involvement over at Lucasfilm, what Jon Favreau was able to talk about this, and what it really means for the future of Star Wars, specifically when it comes down to the creative process, the upcoming shows, the movies, and everything related to it in that sense. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the overall story. Now, given that Disney and Lucasfilm are getting ready to develop new movies and more that will be announced at this year's D23 event, however, it's noted that something very significant was revealed by Jon Favreau recently. Now, Favreau stated the following when he was questioned about Mando 4. So it was something myself and Dave were very quiet about for a long time when creating Season 3, but we didn't really have all the creative freedom that we had hoped for. Kathy was insisting on certain story decisions to be made and or undone, and well, we just had to roll with that for a while. But going into Season 4 now, and what we have been doing with Ahsoka, we fortunately got all the freedom, creatively speaking, that we needed to tell the story that we wanted to tell. Kathy wasn't with us on these projects and won't be for many others. I know she's busy doing her thing with Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, but she's not doing, of course, any of that with us and anything unrelated to Skeleton Crew or Acolyte. And going into, of course, with many other projects for the upcoming slate of Star Wars shows and such. So, let me just say one thing about what Jon is saying here that's very apparent, is that this all is working in conjunction with what Jon and Dave have been doing for the past couple of months now with Ahsoka, Mando Season 4 script, and everything related to the upcoming slate of Star Wars shows and movies. So this works very well with what we've been talking about, is that Kathleen Kennedy is only and strictly working on the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew on a creative scale. Alright, so just be very well aware about that. Anything in 2023 that's being produced is all Jon and Dave related and or Tony Gilroy related. And I think that, that really does spell a recipe for, or should I say, a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to Star Wars, basically. When you look at things like Kathleen Kennedy, in that sense, it's a recipe for disaster. Skeleton Crew and Acolyte, without a doubt, because this is 100% her and Leslie Headland and John Watts. Basically, with Skeleton Crew, they want to marvelize Star Wars. With the Acolyte, they want to essentially Matrix, turn Star Wars into like Matrix elements here and there. That's basically what Leslie Headland even talked about how they dragged in a lot of elements from that franchise into Star Wars. But moving on to the next important thing about what Favreau has to say, and what this really means for the future of Star Wars movies and TV shows, is that on top of this, he goes on to elaborate. And look, I never wish anything bad on anybody, but we just wanted to do our own thing and to tell our vision without any interference at all, and we are finally going to be able to do that with our upcoming stories. It was our priority to recreate the Legends or EU stories and how we could put that into both live action and animated projects for the audience to enjoy. Again, Jon Favreau is confirming here that Legends and EU content is and always will be moving ahead to really be their priority. Alright, so Legends content is going to be the major focus for Star Wars content. And that's basically what a lot of fans just have wanted to see. I know some fans would debate this and say how the common moviegoers or the common viewers have nothing to do with Legends or know nothing about Legends, but I'm noticing more and more that a lot of casual audience members or casual viewers alike are getting really interested in the Legends lore and beginning to unravel what's truly, more quality driven than what Disney has ever put out. And I think that that's what John and Dave are beginning to realize, that there is a growing audience that is becoming more and more aware about what Legends is and what great material is coming out of it. And that's exactly why, by the way, in case you guys did not know, it was John and Dave's idea for Disney to push out the Legends Essentials books to promote Star Wars Legends. That was all John and Dave. I don't know if you guys knew this, but they are the ones that pressured Disney to put out those Legends Essentials books. And basically what they are is it's Disney signaling what Legends books are considered the most successful. And that was their way of promoting Legends to the audience. Very interesting move on their part, but moving on. He goes on to elaborate further. I love working with Dave and all, but he always felt suppressed for a while when we didn't have all the creative freedoms that we had. It feels like a wish come true. I know Lucasfilm did this with Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi, and now we are getting our chance to tell all our visions with our upcoming shows and such with no interruptions. It's going to be one hell of a ride for the fandom and this entire community. Many keep asking me, are we done with Luke? No, not in the slightest. We will have very much more to do with Luke on ways that fans would never even imagine and ways I can't reveal just yet right now. Now, obviously Favreau, guys, he cares about fans. We've talked about this several times, that Favreau is a fan guy, and what I mean by that is he understands the fandom. He knows how the fans think, what they want to see, and that's exactly why he's able to connect with everybody very well. Now look, as much as fans did not like Season 3 of Mando, we can't really blame John and Dave fully. It had a lot to do with Kathleen Kennedy's interference. She may have not had any involvement while filming, but she most certainly had a huge involvement when they were writing the script. And she was telling them what to do and what not to do, or what to undo what was already done. And that's another thing that I think fans need to really just remember and think about. And it's why I personally am very excited about Ahsoka, very excited about Mando Season 4, which sadly, by the way, is running into a couple of delays due to the writer's strike, because they are revising the script, but they can't continue on with that right now with the writer's strike, so that's been cut off for a little while. How long will the writer's strike last? Will it be a month, 2 months, 3 months? Beyond that, we have no idea. It's a very inconsistent thing. You don't really know how long or how short this strike is going to go on for. So, yeah, I mean, Jon Favreau makes, a lot of interesting points here, especially the Rian Johnson point that Rian got his full creative power with The Last Jedi by Kathleen Kennedy. She gave him the okay on everything that he wanted to do. And so now, given that she has no creative power over much of the shows except for Skeleton Crew and Acolyte, John and Dave are now getting their chance to prove everything to the audience. So, anyways, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, drop a thumbs up, let me know what you guys have to say about all of that, and I will catch you guys later.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.